the Steelers are on fire with decisions that could change the future of the franchise. While the battle between Justin Fields and Russell Wilson heats up and promises to shake up the quarterback lineup, an unexpected injury threatens to further complicate the defensive scenario for the matchup against the Eagles. Will the Steelers find the right balance to stay in the race for the AFC North? You can't miss a single detail of these explosive updates. Don't forget to like the video and let's dive in. The Pittsburgh Steelers have been riding a true roller coaster at the quarterback position this season, but things have gotten interesting as the 2024 regular season reaches its final stretch. Following a blockbuster offseason that brought both Russell Wilson and Justin Fields to the team, the Steelers are now reaping the rewards of those moves, but they're also facing tough decisions for the future. With both quarterbacks playing well, it's unlikely that both will remain on the roster in 2025, making the remaining games all the more critical. Justin Fields started the year strong, leading the team to a 4-2 record in the first 6 games. Then it was Wilson's turn to shine after returning from a calf injury, posting a 6-1 record since taking over as the starter in Week 7. Mike Tomlin, who faced criticism for the quarterback switch, is now being hailed as a genius, with even rumors of a potential Coach of the Year candidacy beginning to circulate. Now comes the dilemma. The Steelers acquired Fields in a trade with the Chicago Bears, sending a conditional 6th-round pick in return. However, if Fields plays more than 50% of the offensive snaps this season, that pick becomes a 4th-rounder. So far, Fields has played 45.73% of the snaps, putting the Steelers in a favorable position. They can deploy the young quarterback strategically, without risking a higher price tag for Chicago. With an average of 68.5 offensive snaps per game, Fields is unlikely to surpass the 50% mark as long as Wilson stays healthy. To date, he's played a total of 407 snaps, but since Week 7, his participation has been minimal, with only 7 snaps against the Cleveland Browns in Week 12, for example. However, this could change as the remaining games become critical in the race for the AFC North. Each passing week makes it increasingly likely that the Steelers will owe only a 6th-round pick to the Bears. The big question for 2025 is how the Steelers will handle this situation. With both Wilson and Fields proving they still have plenty to offer, it's hard to imagine both staying in Pittsburgh next year. One will likely remain with the Steelers, while the other looks for new opportunities in free agency. Until then, the upcoming games will be crucial in defining the future of the quarterback position in Steel City. With this battle between Fields and Wilson, who do you think should be the QB of the future in Pittsburgh? Share your opinion in the comments. Now, on to the next story, which could have Steelers fans worried, especially about the defense. The Steelers just dropped some unpleasant news for fans as they prepare to face the Philadelphia Eagles in Week 15. During Mike Tomlin's weekly press conference, most were focused on updates about George Pickens and his hamstring injury, but the coach brought up another concerning name, safety Deshaun Elliott. Elliott, who left last week's game against the Browns without any visible issues, is now dealing with a groin injury. Although Tomlin did not mention any practice restrictions for this week, the fact that Elliott was specifically mentioned suggests the situation deserves attention. This isn't one of those routine bumps and bruises typical of a grueling season. There's cautious optimism that he could be limited in the coming days. Elliott, who has quickly established himself as a cornerstone of the Steelers' defense, has been a key player alongside Minkah Fitzpatrick. If he's sidelined, the team will likely rely on Damontae Kazee as the starter, with Cam Sutton as the primary backup option. Other players like Miles Killebrew and Beanie Bishop might also be called upon if needed. Elliott's numbers this season highlight the impact he's had since joining Pittsburgh. 96 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, 2 forced fumbles, 3 fumble recoveries, and 1 interception. Against the Browns, he was the team's leading tackler, recording 13 tackles. He is currently the team's second leading tackler, trailing only rookie Patrick Queen, who leads with 98 tackles. In addition to Elliott, the Steelers' medical staff is monitoring George Pickens, hamstring, Dante Jackson, back, and Larry Ogunjobi, groin. The expectation is to have all of them, except for Pickens, available for the matchup against the Eagles. Facing one of the league's top teams would already be a massive challenge on its own, but losing more key defensive players could make it even tougher. The Steelers are at a pivotal moment on multiple fronts. On one side, the quarterback battle could define the franchise's future, while on the other, defensive injuries threaten to derail the season. If Tomlin can manage to balance all of this, he deserves even more credit than he's already getting. And to stay updated on your favorite team, don't forget to subscribe to the channel.